And let's take a look at some numbers. First of all, the sharp rise in gas prices. When President Obama was sworn in, a gallon of gas cost $1.84. Now it costs $3.85. That's over a 108% increase. And as Juan just mentioned, a New York Times poll this week showed how much this is hurting the president. 70% now think the country is on the wrong track, and 57% now disapprove of the president's handling of the economy. Britt, those are the most negative numbers since a couple of months after Obama took office during the very depths, at the low point of the recession.
If these high gas prices were unaccompanied by higher prices that people are feeling at the grocery store and elsewhere, it wouldn't be nearly so large a problem. This is the season of the year when gas prices tend to spike anyway, which is why it's a little unfair to compare, January 20th a few years ago with today. But be that as it may, he will receive blame for this. In addition, I think that it's very important, people's feelings about the economy, despite declining unemployment, despite the fact that there is now steady growth, have not improved. And when the conventional wisdom in Washington settles, as it seemed to recently, on the idea that the president is a sure bet for re-election, I think it's upside down. If the election were held today, in my view, Barack Obama would lose. He might lose big. Obviously, he's got some time. Events change. He would lose to any reasonable nominee from the Republican Party. Right. The Republican Party might be able to lose this election if they nominated some extremely colorful, freakish candidate. But my view of that is that this election, Juan, as you may have heard me say before, is unlikely to be about the Republican nominee. Yeah. It will be about President Obama and his record. And if the public decides it wants to make a change, and it would do that if the election were held today, it will elect a Republican. I
keep coming back to this. Lose to who? Even Republicans are discontented with what Republicans are offering. You want a pure referendum on President Obama? That's an abstract concept, Britt. I live in the real world.
I understand.
And there's
that
nobody out there right now who can defeat President Obama. And just go ask Republican fundraisers.
32 years ago, 1979, the Republican field was in chaos. It had this aged former actor followed by the right named Ronald Reagan. It had an assortment of other candidates that nobody thought was presidential timber as the election year approached. And look what happened. Look, the fact that people are discontent with the field now, how many times have we seen this? How many times
I'm not sure Ronald Reagan is waiting in the wings.
I was about to say, I don't see any Ronald Reagan.
Let me turn this a little bit.
What did you think then?
Ronald Reagan had run against Gerald Ford and had launched a substantial governor of California.
Did you think he could be elected president?
Guys, we're not going to continue a conversation about what Juan was thinking in 1979, because I'm sure he doesn't remember what he was thinking in 1979. Let me